people, the stragglers that are still on their way here, a couple minutes to make their way in. But your homework is going to be to finish all of that Chapter 13 work as you get the availability to. My guess is that we will start working on the mastery either Thursday or Friday. But we will discuss that once we wrap everything up. So go ahead on your 13.4 notes here. On the back, middle of the page, got it. Go ahead and start working on this triangular pyramid. Now, stuff that we want to remember as we start this is our volume formula. Do you have these notes? You got them?
I need them.
You need them? Come here. They're always right up here. So I laid these down now instead of having them stood up. So they should always be the notes that we've done most recently should be on top. Hey guys, give me your eyes. This is not a one-person announcement. We are Math 7. The notes that we are old are in the folder down there. Most recent should be on top. I used to have it standing vertically, but I don't know exactly why I made that decision. But it just makes sense that we can stack them like this. So if you've ever missed class, come look through here. The deeper down you go, the older those notes get. So if you ever need the notes, they're over there. So, we find the volume of a pyramid very similar to finding volume of a prism. If this was a prism, it would just be big B times H. How is a pyramid different? CJ? Ooh, not a half. Remember, we're in 3 dimensions dealing with volume. It's a third. So try this, work with people close by you, stick by hand if you need some help. I'm going to jot a couple things up here, a couple formulas, but hopefully you can get a start on this on your own. Kayla, do you need these notes? Do you need these notes? It's a whack out. Where is thank you. So, I thought you were just kind of chilling, like letting your brain get going. So first step, always, really it's safe enough to just, regardless of whether you're surface area or volume, you need big B in both. Whether you're doing surface area or volume, you're gonna need big B. So you might as well start with big B always. So when I'm trying to calculate the area of the base here, I look at the name of the pyramid. Kylie, what kind of pyramid is this? Triangular. So I already kind of gave it away. But in 2 dimensions, working with area, we use half. In 3 dimensions, working with volume, we use third. Now, Michaela, do you remember how I determine my little b, little h? What kind of relationship I look for to find my little b, little h? Or do you know here what they are? You don't even have to know the relationship. Like if I ask you for the little b of the base, so the base of the triangle, you know? Yeah, so that little b is 10 feet because the base of the triangle, I should change off the highlighter. So then do you know what the little height is? Yeah, well, sorry, I couldn't hear. They're being really loud next door. 8.7. Because the little b and little h, Flynn, do you remember the relationship they have to have, little b, little h? What's that symbol that I'm looking for? You guys are always welcome to pass. Like, if we're this far into the year, you're welcome to pass, but I'd like you to try to rack your brain. Shake it around, see. Xavier. This right angle symbol, that perpendicular relationship, little b. So you can off to the side, little b is perpendicular. This symbol means perpendicular with little h. If you want to remind yourself, little b is perpendicular with little h. If you can't remember it, sometimes you got to shake it out. So, make your life easy. Don't do half of 10. I know that's easy. But 10 times anything is super easy. 10 times 8.7 just moves the decimal and becomes 87. Then to do half of 87, do half of 80. 40. Half of 7. 3.5. So big B comes out to be 43.5. How's everyone's bracket? I don't think you're gonna
I know nothing about
I should not have coin flipped the first round. Next year, I don't coin flip the first round.
I know nothing about basketball.
Neither do I, but I do know probability, and I thought coin flips would be fun. It's not working out.
I know my swim stuff, man, but I don't know basketball.
I did get Wisconsin.
Yes. Good for you.
I got a few others, but Wisconsin was my upset that I got. Yeah. What do you mean? You're thinking lateral height. Or you're thinking like lateral area when we have to do that. So, guys, remember, volume is easy. I know it's the three-dimensional and it like you'd think it'd be harder, but volume's easier. There's less to do. We've essentially done the hard work. The only thing we have left to do is figure out what is the vertical height of the pyramid. Abby, what's the vertical height of the pyramid?
Vertical height of the pyramid. Isn't it 8.2?
8.2.
Yay!
So, just use your calculator. I know I like to say make your life easy, use your brain, break things. We got a fraction, well, thirds, first off, suck kind of, because it's a third. And then 2 decimal values, just use a calculator. You can go back in your dreams to your elementary teachers and say, my middle school teacher just tells me to get a calculator.
We weren't allowed to use a calculator.
Well, so there's lots of memes that people love to send me that are like, remember when your math teacher told you you wouldn't have a calculator on you at all times? Feel free. I mean, you guys can always send me stuff. I'm not gonna seek out, but if you find something funny, shoot it my way. Like I'll print stuff. I took them down when we had our renovation. People, my 8th grade class, like 2 or 3 years ago, used to send me math memes, like when they found funny ones. And I had like a whole section of the board back there, just like funny math. Yeah. Like it told me to put the pizza in the oven and bake it at 120 degrees or something. It's got the pizza like.
Oh my god, I saw that this weekend. I saw that.
So, what's my volume? Who calculated it? Can we... Yeah,
I have
somebody.
memes.
Verification?
I got 118.9.
Yeah, so if we round to the nearest whole foot, 119 feet cubed. Questions. What part of this process doesn't make sense to you? Reminder 13.3, 13.4, you don't have to submit those answers. You are doing it on paper. You are going to turn that in. So please don't do it and then lose it. You'll have to do it again. All right, let's do one more of these. Misadventures tent.
Misadventure.
I know, it's a play on words. Her tent is a hexagonal tent. We had one like this in Boy Scouts. We called it the camel because it looked like a giant brown. It was brown. It looked like a giant camel hump because it was huge. So it's a hexagon on the bottom. It's a regular hexagon, which tells me every edge is the same, but that doesn't really matter. We really care that it's a hexagon. Bella, what do I do to a hexagon to make my life easier? Ooh, we can just get the area of one triangle because if I break it up, my hexagon tells me I'll have 6 triangles. So think about, for your big B process, just do 6 times the triangle. And then I like to at least think about, if not draw, which if you are a person that likes to draw, go ahead and draw this somewhere else, everything that we know about this triangle. Well, this edge on the bottom of the triangle is going to measure how long? 3.5, because we were told that over here. So this will be 3.5. This height of the triangle is going to be 3. So when I go to find my big B area, I'm going to have 6 times that triangle area, which is 1/2 the little b times the little h. Parentheses inside of parentheses, parentheses sandwich. This would be so your calculator didn't get confused. Now you don't have to use all these parentheses. I use it to group things so we know what's what. This will be our little b. This will be our little h, and that's where my 1/2 little b little h. That's the single triangle. My little b little h have to be perpendicular, so they are my 3.5 and my 3. Unfortunately, we're not doing the 1/3 yet, because a third would work very well. So we probably want to grab our calculator for this. Or, multiplication's commutative. What's half of 6? 3. Then I can do 3 times 3 times 3.5. So really I'm doing 9 times 3.5. Sorry, what'd you get? 28.5. 28.5. Are you sure about that?
No. I just did that in my head.
So we can do this in our head. 9 times 3.5 though. 9 times 3 gives me 27. 9 times 0.5 is another 4.5. So 27 plus 4.5.
How come a 0.5 and then a 4.5?
Alright, so
You're so confused.
hold up. The step that came right in here was 9 times 3.5. After we did half of 6 times 3, all that. 9 times 3 is 27. 9 times a half is 4.5. Add those up, we get our 31.5. Yeah.
I'm like, what?
I think you maybe did 3 times a half.
Yeah, that's right.
Is where you got your 28.5 when you did the half.
Then,
Then we've done the hard part. Finding big B is the hard part. So be careful when you do that, and then you know the rest of it should flow easy. Volume is 1/3 times that big B times the total height of the pyramid. Plug it all in. All we gotta do is plug and calculate. So we have 31.5. Yeah, that vertical height, 4.7. In the end, we get our volume is, I heard the same thing said at the same time from multiple people, 49.35.
thank you.
Ah, thank you for the units.
You're welcome.
It doesn't tell me anything if it doesn't have units.
Random thing square.
Dogs, cats, pizzas. Questions on volume of pyramids? Questions on volume of pyramids? Going once.
I should do that. Like playing Monopoly. Going once. Going twice. Sold.
We're sure? We're all good? So the homework, we're going to know what to do?
No.
Well, then what's your question?
I have no questions. I just don't know what to do.
Well, then come see me. Or use your notes. Would somebody pass these out while I switch videos? Or split them. Split them up.
Hey, well, you guys, is he got stuff